3 days of madness, manic script writing, imposing deadlines looming, complex ethnic cleansing condensed into a mere bullet hell, classy pixel art, multiple burnouts and crashouts, and Metro bombing cooking up a fire soundtrack in the midst of all this chaos. This was my weekend. How was yours?
This is the case of a game jam. However, this is not my first rodeo. So what exactly makes this one special then?
Firstly, it's the first time I've ever worked at a team, meaning that the game I'll be making won't look so hideous for once.
Secondly, this just isn't some YouTuber's game jam. It's the Global Game Jam 2025, and this bad boy is worldwide. The theme? Bubbles.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, what kind of theme is that? They expect just bubble clickers from us or something? Like, come on. Surely there's more to it.
Those of you with sharp ears at least might have noticed how I brought up ethnic cleansing in the intro, and then might be wondering, how on earth did you link that to bubbles? Hold on, I'll get to that. But first, let me show you the team which made this whole thing possible.
DJ, he's the man who'll swear that he doesn't know how to draw, but still pulled up with a drawing tablet and a glove. He's the one responsible for anything which looks nice in the game. Vincent.
I'm gonna be programming mostly. I'm gonna be trying to design the different game mechanics, the enemies, the players, the different abilities the players are gonna have. And yeah, I'm ready to have fun.
He then proceeded to do none of that. However, he did have some other responsibilities.
He's the one who's animating the characters and items in the game, and he also happens to be the guy alongside me who'll be helping out with the programming. Metro Bobbin, aka Bob. This legend's job is quite simple.
Music.
He's the musical mastermind behind anything you hear in the game, from the sound effects to the unruly beat drops mid-session. He's also got experience in programming too, and he's the one who created the boss fight. Last but not least, myself. I'll be the main programmer building the foundational code, holding this whole game together. If anything is to go wrong with the game, it will be my fault. On the first day, I pulled up late just to endure an hour of just straight yapping. After that, we were left to fend for ourselves and to create order from the disarray, making our teams for the rest of the game jam. The only thing I knew was that Bob and I had to be a team, seeing as I knew it best as my course mate. But the rest? That was a free-for-all. About maybe 10 of us were hovering around, brainstorming ideas, and a lot of them were, I'm not gonna lie, quite questionable. Like, Bob's 10 Bubbles being a game about a cancer-ridden child on the verge of death?
Like, dude, that's a crazy idea for a game with, let me remind you, a 2-minute plot.
Let alone a game that even children are supposed to play.
However, some ideas just rose up higher than others, such as a physics-based scroller with a house being propelled upward and sideways by balloons.
So after a little brainstorming session, we then hastily got into our groups and began to work on our ideas, further motivated by the delivered prospect of a free large pizza for everybody. Because come on, a free pizza for me? I don't mind if I do.
By work, I mean minimal planning of the game and its lore, conjuring viable in-game slurs.
You squeaker! Clean the filth! Clean the filth! Clean the filth!
And just talking about Diddy and reverse Diddies.
No reverse Diddy. I can't.
Say that again!
Yeah, make of that what you will. So, what exactly is our game? Without spoiling too much, it's a bullet hell. For those of you unfamiliar with the genre, just imagine a game where you're swarmed by hundreds of enemies and you just have to keep shooting them.
Until when, you may ask? When you succumb to the filth.
Our bullet hell has you, the protagonist, essentially isekai'd into a world of filthy monsters, which you must purge under the holy name of the Clean Kingdom, using a bubble gum. Because, come on, we have to keep it on theme somehow.
We were about to use the Godot engine to get our things sorted, seeing as 1, Bob was the one with the most experience with the engine, and 2, I thought, hey, just for giggles, let's try something new. But we just couldn't pass up the free opportunity to use the Unity 2022, which just, for whatever strange reason, just came pre-installed on the school computers. It was Saturday. I needed to get most of my programming done today, because tomorrow was Sunday, and I knew for a fact I was not going to make it back from church up until about 1. However, little did I know I would make it back way later than that.
While I was scraping together the basic camera movement, the shooting, and the player movement, our artists got to doing their thing and producing some wonderful stuff. The final potential boss was looking great and the themes were slapping, despite somehow the both of them thinking that the stuff sucked.
And that's the thing I hate about artists. They'll literally downplay literally everything they create. Like, they'll create a piece of music which would rival the production quality of Pierre Bourne, or they'll create a piece of artwork which would put Da Vinci to shame, and then they would have the audacity to look me dead in the eyes and tell me, it's kind of bad. I think you could have done better. No, I couldn't. If I could, I would be the artist, not you. Like, just take some credit.
Boy Vinny was tackling what seemed to be the hardest problem so far, procedural generation. You see, DJ didn't want to draw humongous levels and I didn't want to deal with the optimization issues of large levels loading in all at once. So we tasked Vinny with the job of using a few prefabs and having them randomly selected and stitched themselves together in real time to form unique maps each playthrough.
Honestly, in hindsight, that was a really stupid idea to give such a large task to somebody trying to get back into the flow of game programming, but honestly, we just couldn't be bothered to deal with the GitHub issues otherwise, and so off we left that to him. Sorry, Vinny.
We were chilling, just making steady progress until the yapper in charge of our district decided that we needed to have a working demo by 3 PM. That threw the spanner in the works, seeing as at the time I only had 3 enemies barely working and a junky gun. So we crunched hard for a few hours, taking a couple of burnout breaks in the midst of that to scrap together essentially a ugly looking demo so short of the full dreams that we had for the project. Seemingly to reward us for our hard work and our willingness to be the first group in each day and last out each day, some guys just happened to leave us some pizza. So naturally, with us very well near tweaking and losing our minds over the workload, and also just the thought of, come on, free pizza, we did what any normal rational human being would and we got jiggy with it. And when I say jiggy, I mean jiggy, especially Vinny. The result? This. Realistically, had the burnouts not made me miss 2 obvious mistakes, this would have been achieved a lot sooner, but hey.
But it works! It works! It works! It works! It works! I thought the whole moving the bots towards the players would be the hard bit, yeah? That thing, realistically, took me like 5-10 minutes. A box collider took me 2 hours. Shooting a bullet in the right direction took me like 4. Fam. But it over now.
And as I was going through it today, I found the easier a problem got, the more I struggled with it. Like, one of the things you just forget in game jams is just like, because of all the time pressure and all like the constant time just constantly crunching code, I've been pretty much game jamming for about 13 hours. And so yeah, clearly, it gets to you. And so it's a mental game more so than a game of the battle of wits or who's got the better ideas. It's just, okay, whose mental frame can handle the most pressure, really? And the rest, the creative ideas and such, they'll flow, but only if you can hack it. And so I guess that's one of the things which I was reminded of here today. And then it was Sunday. I knew I was going to be late, but not 3 hours to upload, build a project, and upload to a bookie website late. That made things a bit problematic.
But here I was at 2 PM with the submission date at 5 PM, running through the rain to get to the lab. Thankfully, Bob took it upon himself to clean up my camera code and to program the boss fights, as I clearly couldn't be bothered to do that myself. So I locked in, making sure to implement the items which the enemies were supposed to drop, because hey, that's one of our unique selling points, by the way. Instead of just being some normies giving you mana or boring visual cues to indicate which effects/power-ups you get, we decided to keep to the theme of bubbles. Combine that with the humor you'd expect of a 14-year-old and you've got our 2 in-theme power-ups, a bar of soap, which you've got to be very careful not to drop, and a bottle of high-definition 144p Johnson & Johnson's Baby Oil.
Yeah, that's right. we got Diddy oil in our game. How are you gonna beat that?
The soap basically just restores some of your health, and just as how baby oil helps Adama Traore slip through defenders, our baby oil gives the player that much needed speed boost to slip past the swarms of slime.
Doing all that, speed running the compilation of the game about like 8 times and for whatever random reason, spending 4 minutes on just playtesting until we could reach one boss stage.
However, it was eventually demonstration time, and we had hastily chucked the demo onto the near-crashing website. The crowds gathered around to see what all this hype was about, what power-ups we were constantly yapping about, only for... What? They weren't showing? Huh?
Can I get my baby oil, please?
Bro, the baby oil was our USP, unique selling point.
Unbeknownst to me, it was an animation error which would hide these objects from view whenever they spawned in, but there I was, essentially just taking up the mantle of responsibility and accepting the justified criticism onto myself. At least the other projects were cool, even if they didn't warrant half the hype that their creators were giving them.
I'm talking about you, Joseph.
Oscar, you just see. Joseph, you're yapping for real.
No, I ain't yapping, bro.
Alright, so play the game. Just play the game! Play the game! Play the damn game!
The game jam, it's finally over. It was fun though. Game turned out alright. It's technically playable, and point I want to make of this is just like, team game jams are like unparalleled. They can be so good, but like just the conflict in ideas and just like if there's any lack of communication between variables not being set or scripts being changed without you knowing, it can throw you mentally.
So, if I was to summarize this entire experience in a few words, I would just say that it's great to have a game jam with a team with great communication because, well, I've got to mess around, new experience, and essentially make new friends, which I'm going to have for like the rest of my course, which is going to be amazing.
Even despite our mess ups, I think the content of the game we got is probably better than some of the other ones I've seen. Just that the other ones with their simpler ideas may have just had a bit more time to polish it.
And if you would ask me if I was going to do it again, although some people looking at my face, especially after the crash of the animations, they might not believe me, but I honestly would do it again next year. It's way more fun, way better, and because there's other people which can do the things which I suck at, such as making stuff look good or making stuff sound good, I think the games which come out of it are just way better than the ones that I did on my own. Which, fun fact, I don't think the rest of my teammates actually believed the fact that I would do basically everything they were doing and what I was doing on my own in a game jam to produce output. But honestly, if you look at the stuff which I've put out on my itch.io, you'll see exactly how on earth they came from one person because they're shoddy. But hey, I am gonna fix them because come on, it's free content. So now that the game jam's over, what exactly have I been working on? Seeing as there was a lot of stress, and because of that, I don't think any of the other teammates as of right now are that motivated to work at the game. I think DJ might, but he's got stuff to sort out as well. And so what I'm thinking of doing in the meantime is, based on my limited skill set, I might want to see if I can get the room generation done myself. However, I would have to be doing that at the same time as my main project, which is the physics cars as well. I'm not going to abandon that because just like my child, I'm going to finish with them.
Pause.
I do think this game deserves to be finished because come on, with lore like that and in-game slurs like that, we cannot leave a project like that unfinished. Wouldn't you want something like that on Steam to replace the filth we see in that place nowadays? Okay, so even if you're an OG viewer or not, if you're looking for any updates on this channel whilst I'm not able to currently post, I definitely recommend that you check out the Instagram, same handle, Smash, and perhaps in the future, depending on what happens, I might even have a Discord for more detailed interactions between you and I. But in the meantime, Smash for now, and of course the comment section. And so, I do recommend that you also check out this video here if you're interested in devlogs, or this video here if you're also interested in watching people play games at a particularly low level. And so on that note, I'll see you in the next video.